Are you all ready? You want to see the cards tonight? All right. Here we go. I'm going to zoom in for you. One of my followers asked me if I would make this card. As you can see, they are stamped pieces that are cut out, but she wanted to know how I actually assembled it. And so I'm going to show you this evening. And does this open? Oh, it does open, sorry. And it opens like this. So it's on a very vanilla card base, okay? Hi, Peggy. So I'm going to show you how to do this tonight and give you a few tips. It really is a fun card to make, but it does take time. But I want you to know how to put it together. Now, the inspiration from this card came from the catalog on page 78. So if you have your Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog handy, turn to page 78, all right? And you'll find this card, or like a little variation of it. Hello, Aunt Ethel, how are you? Hi, Peggy. Now, our next set of cards, we're going to make these little 3x3 cards, okay? And again, this is going to take us a little bit of time. I will tell you this, I've already taken the time to do the stamping and the cutting out of all the objects because there are so many, all right? And that will save us a bit of time, all right? But I'll definitely show you how I stamp the things to get them to turn out. And then here's one as well. So there are 5 3x3 cards here that we're going to create this evening, all right? And somebody gets to take home all 5. So you want to be sure that you comment tonight, all right? You've got to get the little 3x3s, right? And there are 5 of them. I love 3x3 cards. I have no idea what I'm going to do with these, but I love making them, so it's fun for me. All right, thank you. I'm so glad you all like them. I worked on this bundle a couple of weeks ago. I try and work about 2 weeks ahead of Facebook Live. And so I worked on these 2 weeks ago. So now it's like, okay, do I remember what I did? I hope I do. I'm so glad you like them. Thank you. I'll give you a few minutes to look at them and I'll take a sip of water. You can do a quick screenshot. Jeanne says, these are my favorite size cards to make, and then make a box to put them in. Yes, Jeanne, I love that. And actually, I wanted to make a box with this, but it just didn't happen. I wish it had, and maybe it'll happen by next week, so. Oh, these would be perfect, Carolyn. They would, yes. That would be awesome. Hi, Corinne, welcome. Hi, Marva. Thanks for joining. Okay, so are you all ready? All right, let's get started. As many of you know, these are the dies that come with the Gone Fishing set. And these are actually 2 dies right here, okay? So we're going to be actually talking about them this evening because we're going to make the card with it. On my Tip Tuesday yesterday, we talked about that little slit that's in the paper. And that's so that your bobber can rest in the water or a fish can be peeking out of the water as well. Hi, Louise. And then here are some, I'm going to call them buoys, floats. I don't know what to call them. We've got some different hooks and lures. And then this piece right here, this die will make it this wavy, and then it also gives you this impression on the cardstock. All right, the embossed look. Okay, so these are the dies right here, and I was actually drawn to the dies before the stamp set because I just really liked this piece. All right, I'm still trying to create some cards to go with this piece. All right, so here we go. You're about to find out how I created this, and hopefully I can remember it. So I know, wouldn't that be cute, Margaret, if the fish was, if his head was just coming out of the water through that little slit? I think that would be super cute. All right, let me find my materials here. Let's see. Okay, so I've already mentioned this twice, and I'm going to mention it one more time, okay? Because this is what helped me with this card. When I started creating this card, I was getting a bit frustrated because every time I put something on the card, I had to go stamp something else and then go run to the machine to cut it out, okay? And I just felt like I was never going to finish this card. So this is my suggestion. Stamp lots of objects. And if you stamp it and the die slips, you've got another one you can cut out. Here, these lures are in boho blue. This is in wild wheat, misty moonlight, and I will zoom in here. This is stamped in a boho blue, and honestly, the lighting is not doing it justice. Here are some more of the lures in wild wheat. Then I did some of the bobbers. I did bobbers in boho blue and mossy meadow. And I think I have some more. Again, this one here is misty moonlight, and I kind of dropped the block, but once I cut that out, it's going to work. And here's some more of the bobbers, boho blue and wild wheat. You may be asking, how did I decide on the colors? I took the colors from the designer paper, and that is what I used. Here's Calypso Coral. I just looked on the back of the designer paper package, and it listed all of the coordinating colors to the paper. And so that's what I used to stamp the different images here. Here's Misty Moonlight, boho blue, Misty Moonlight, this is Mossy Meadow, and this is Calypso Coral. I also have stamped some fish in the boho blue. Yes, you can stamp the fish in different colors too. And just in case you missed yesterday's Tip Tuesday, go back and watch it. I gave you 3 tips in less than 15 minutes, all right? So definitely go back and watch that. Here we are. Here is the water designer paper. And that little die will make a slit in your paper. And that's where you're gonna rest your buoy. But wouldn't it be cute if you could also, let me see where my fish is. Let's take the bobber out. Now let's say we've got the fish coming out of the water, okay? And he could even have a hook on his mouth, all right? So lots of possibilities, and you get 2 different size slots, okay, or slits, all right? All right, so wanted you to know about that. Definitely go back and watch that video. It will be worth your time. And there were a few comments up here, so I do want to look at those real quick in case I can answer any questions. And then we're about to get started, okay? So let me see, there were 2 comments. Okay, so the little bits look like sinkers and would look great in silver metallic paper. Thank you, Louise. If you're talking about these, I did do those in silver foil. All right, Corinne. Oh yeah, go back and watch that video, Corinne, and you'll see it, okay? All right. Oh, linen thread. Absolutely, Barb. Absolutely. Would love to see that. All right, so here we go. I will tell you, I have already taken the time to stamp and to cut out these pieces. So you don't have to watch me cut out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pieces. Okay, there are 13 pieces on this card. Can you believe that? I can't. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we have a standard card base. All right, it's 5.5 by 8.5, and then you scored 4 1/4 along that 8.5 inch side. All right. And then this is the designer paper that we're going to use. It is part of the Gone Fishing. It's actually called Let's Go Fishing designer paper. All right, so this is the piece we're using. This is the opposite side of it. All right, and there's that mossy meadow that we've been talking about. So the first thing we want to do is to go ahead and we're going to tape the designer paper to the card base. And I think I'm probably going to run out of seal while we're working, and I'll have to change this. All right, so this is going to cover the entire base. So the designer paper measures 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches, okay, because it covers the entire front of the card base. All right, now our next piece is already cut out for us, and this is cut out in Pebbled Path, and I'm going to show you the die. It is actually right here. Okay, this is the die that I used. So think of the possibilities with this particular die. There is a piece missing because we're going to use it in the next card set, okay? It's this die right here. You see this? The die to this is somewhere else because we're going to use it on the next card, okay? All right, and so this can actually be taped with seal as well. I know you're shocked. I did not pop it up. All right. And then we're going to center this on that card base. And I think this will do it. Okay. Now, our next piece is right here. And all those little Pebbled Path pieces fell out of this, okay? And you can actually turn it this way, or you can turn it this way, all right? And so for today, we're gonna turn it this way, and I am going to add some liquid glue or multi-purpose glue. So I haven't used this tube in a week, so maybe it's getting empty. Whoops, there we go. Yeah, you don't want too much glue. I was really trying to avoid that, and I might get a paper towel. So what I'm gonna do is I am just placing some Tombow liquid glue in different little places. You do not need to cover this in glue. Your card will not fall apart. Let me grab a paper towel. All right. And we'll just get rid of some of that so it's not messy. Okay? So, no need to cover in glue. And this is where we're going to lay it, and you can actually just center this, okay? So I was watching my camera instead of what I'm doing, so we might find some other glue somewhere. I am trying to center this. I need to watch what I'm doing here. Okay. All right, much better. That's probably going to be your hardest thing to do. Okay, everybody got that? Now I'm going to use this piece. This is a stamped image from the Gone Fishing bundle, and it looks like water. I think it does, or it just adds interest to your card. I'm going to just scooch back just a little on the on the zooming in. Okay. All right, we're going to want to use some pebbled path. Now it's gotten super quiet, so either you want to learn how to make this card or this wasn't a good idea tonight. All right, so here we are. Here's pebbled path. How many of you like pebbled path? I'm going to add this about right here, okay? And then I'm going to add another one of these lines about right there, okay? And then I'm going to put one here. I can't really see what I'm doing, so hang on. There we go. Notice how I'm putting that towards the top. It's not in the center, okay? All right. And this one I'll probably put kind of in the center. Okay? Carolyn is focusing. So is Carol. So that is your pebbled path, okay? Now, we are actually, is that the one I want? It is. Does anybody know where this shape came from, this die cut? Anybody know? This die cut is from the die. So let me see if I can show you that. I was trying to save this for the next card, and I think I still can. Okay, so here's the die. This piece came from here. So you can use your negative pieces, okay? All right. On this one, we are going to stamp Happy Retirement. So let's do that. And we're going to do it in boho blue. All right. And I'm still going to just move out just a little bit. Let's get Happy Retirement. Here's the Happy Retirement. And here is my Very Vanilla. And then I am going to stamp that right here towards the top. Okay, towards the top. There we go. Done. All right, and we are going to use one of the fish. By the way, here are all my pieces and parts to this card, okay? All right. And we're gonna pop this fish up. I know you're shocked. I'm already popping up things, and guess what? My minis came in, my mini dimensionals. I am so happy they are here. So we can use some minis on the fish. All right. Well, Cindy, I'm so happy you're here from North Dakota. Good to have you. All right. So we've got our fish popped up. So now we are ready to pop this up on the card. So we're going to have our first rectangle done. Well, this is more of a square, isn't it? This is a square, but some of them are rectangular in shape. All right. Yes, minis for the win, by the way. Minis for the win with this bundle. All right, highly recommend them. And this is just going to fit right in this space. Just like that. Okay? So that's where that one goes. And now we are going to move up to this. We will do air embellishments last. All right, don't let me forget. All right, this time I'm going to switch it up a bit. I decided to switch it up, and I'll show you how I switched it in a second, okay? These are already stamped. I know, Nancy. Yes, invest. You need to invest in dimensionals. And we'll put a little one there. All right, so this is our bobber. I have that term right. And I'm going to put the bobber there. And I'll show you how it's different from the last card, okay? It's so fun to put together. This is like almost a puzzle. All right, so the original is right here and here, and look how I changed it up. Okay, so I just switched the colors. Make them any color you want. And then I am gonna take the embellishments. Now, what did I do with those? Let's see if I can find them. I know I have some. Here we go. And I have been trying to finish up this little sheet here, so I'm gonna do that right now. Listen, girls, if I didn't pop up something on a card, you'll know that I am sick for sure. Now Carolyn needs this set. Yes. All right, so we're gonna put a big embellishment right there, using a different color now. This is more the copper color. And then I'm gonna take a smaller one and I'm gonna put there. All right, so let me show you that up close. I am really trying to get rid of these. These are the bronze metallic dots. I just wanna get rid of that little square. So this is where I have them. This is the copper color, okay? And on the original, I have the bronze color. So you can use any of these colors, okay? All right, so we've done that. Now let's go over to this rectangle. And I did not change the colors here. Did y'all notice that I'm saving the hardest for last? I haven't gotten the thread out, the linen thread. Carolyn, that is from Brushed Metallic Adhesive Dots. But let me show you what you can also use, okay? You can use these Rustic Metallic Adhesive Dots. So you have two choices, and I believe we have both of them in the annual catalog, all right? Cindy, I'm so glad you like it. Thank you. All right, I'm glad you all like the card. Let's put a mini there. I'm so happy with the minis. I'm glad they're here, that my order came in. All right. Okay, so now we can peel these off, and I have one of the lures in boho blue and one in wild wheat. I like the rustic too, Carolyn. So we're gonna put one here, and then so we'll put this one here, and it's wild wheat. You know, it's really funny. I had not even thought of doing this card online with you because it's in the catalog, right? But one of my watchers asked me last week if I would do it. And so anytime you all want to see something, I am happy to show you. Just let me know, okay? All right. And then we're going to go down here, and we're going to use, I'll do minis this time. We got another lure. Yay, Barb. Barb's got an order coming tomorrow. So is your Gone Fishing set, is that in the package that you are waiting on? Oh, thank you, Cindy. Thank you. That is the best tip I can give you with this set. I'm telling you, it saved me. Because if I had stamped one thing at a time to make this card, I never would have made the card. I probably would have gotten frustrated because of all the pieces and parts. But just do it beforehand, and when you go to make cards, you've got everything already stamped and ready to go. All right? All right, y'all, here we go. We are about to start this. Are you ready? I hope I remember how to do it, okay? Hi, Nicole from North Carolina. Good to have you here. All right, so let's see. We have we are going to need this little die cut here. That's the little stick, and it is part of the bundle, okay, and the die set. All right. Yes, I still have a wish list, Barb, so I get it. All right, we need that little piece, and we need this little piece, okay? So that's where we're gonna start. We're gonna get this together first, all right? So wish me luck. Ooh, somebody else from North Carolina, amazing. Yes, just like the lemons and limes, my niece is getting married at the end of August, and we're throwing a bridal luncheon for her, and our theme is lemons. And so I have been stamping lemons like crazy. So I'll have to show you those favors next week. Just remind me, okay? All right. So, oh, by the way, all I did here was, this is very vanilla, okay, to cut out that die. And I used, on the back of here is a piece of the adhesive sheet. So that's why it's sticky. So I cut a bunch of these out in Calypso Coral with the adhesive strip. And I'm just trying to scooch this so that it will, I'm not happy, it's not straight yet, so hang on. I don't think it has to be completely straight, but there we go. We got it now, okay? So there's that part. And then we're actually gonna glue it to this, and this is in copper clay. I don't know if I told you the color, but that's copper clay, and I am going to zoom in for this part, okay? Give you a closer look. Yes, exactly, Cindy. You only have to get those inks out at one time. Absolutely. Instead of the back and forth of cleaning the stamp, changing colors, all of that stuff. Yep, I'm with you. I get it. All right, we're ready to put this. Who wants to tell me what this is? Is it just like another buoy? Because that's what it looks like to me. Looks like a buoy to me. Okay. I'm just kind of moving that. All right, so that's done. And here goes. I am bringing out, oh, this is another bobber. Is that what this is? Another bobber? A float. Okay, I think you might be right. I think this is a float and this is a bobber, right? Okay, Baker's Twine Essentials Pack, item number 155475. And we get all these lovely colors in here, and we're gonna go with the black, but quite honestly, any of these will work. Yes, they would be styrofoam. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna get out the black. That's what I'm using on the card. Wish me luck here. I'm gonna grab some water. Okay, open another bottle. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm just gonna cut just a little bit. I don't think we're gonna need that much. And then what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna put a glue dot on the back of this at the top. I could probably also use the multi-purpose glue, okay? But if I put a glue dot there, I'm talking myself through this, okay? See that? I can start that thread right there. And it makes it a little bit neater than the multi-purpose glue. Now, the multi-purpose glue is gonna work, okay? But you kind of have to hold it there for a little bit. All right, so can you see what I've done? I am just wrapping this around here, okay? So Cindy says it clips onto the fishing line on one of the ends. Okay, all right. I obviously need a fishing lesson. Okay, so we're good there. I'm pretty happy with how I've done that. Okay, everybody see that? I've wrapped it around about 3 times. And now I'm thinking, I'm probably gonna have to wrap it again, but I wanna get a dimensional on here, okay? Because I'm just about to pop this up. All right, everybody with me? Okay, here it goes. So it's going to go like, hang on, I want this to go underneath. Okay, that's going underneath about like this. And yeah, that'll, oh, I'm sorry, you cannot see, sorry. So I'm still fiddling. You see how I have, that's been wrapped 3 times. And I didn't mean to do that. See, this can be really tricky. Okay, this will work. Okay, so that's what I've done. Now, I really want this to lay here like this, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm actually going to add a little bit of that multi-purpose glue. And I mean just a little. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit closer for y'all. Wow, now you can really see. All right, I feel like I'm at the Bass Pro Shop, Nancy. Okay, so I'm just scooting my ribbon down. So this part takes a lot of patience. Okay, and I'm actually gonna hold this a few minutes. See that glue there? That's gonna dry. And I don't know, I had a little paper towel. Oh, here it is. Hang on. Everything is stuck to my paper towel. There we go. I'm just holding this and see the thread there? That's what I'm going after. Okay? Just like that. Okay, I just about have it now. Now with this little guy, we are going to use a mini dimensional. And here we go. And then I'm going to put that about right there, okay? So I'm going to cut this, all right? And then I'm going to pop this up. And then I am going to add this just like that. All right. There we go. So I'll give you a few minutes to look at that. Okay. Thank you, Sandy. Thanks for joining us. Yes, we should take a class, a fishing class at Bass Pro Shop. I totally agree. Hello, Carol. All right. Everybody see how I did that? And again, I'm just kind of holding down that twine so that it sticks, okay? All right. Now, we're going to go up to this spot at the very top. And I'll bring in the next card so that you can see, and I can zoom out a little. All right, I know it turns out super cute, but it takes a few minutes to do all that finagling, right? Okay, so this piece right here is stamped in Pebble Path, and then the second stamp, I used boho blue. So remember, this stamp set is a 2-step stamping set. So Cindy says the silver piece is called a slip weight. Thank you. I've got some fishermen in this group. This is awesome. All right, so right here, I'm going to add some dimensionals because we're going to pop it up, right? Of course we're popping it up. Why would we not pop it up? And I am going to be, oh, good, Diane. I'm so glad I haven't scared you away yet. More twine, ladies. I have no idea how much, okay? I'll zoom out so you can see how much I have here. I don't know if I'm going to use it all. I probably have 8 inches, all right? All right. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to wrap this twine around in a circle. All right. Okay. And I'll probably use 2 fingers. All right. To just kind of wrap that. And I think I'm going to do it just like this. Okay, see that? I want to put that about right there. And then I'm going to pop this up over it. And actually, I'm going to add one more dimensional because I want the dimensional to catch the thread. All right, so here we go. I have to tell y'all, this is actually fun. I'm enjoying this. This is fun. This is more fun than the first card I made. The first card I had to kind of figure it all out. All right, so here we go. We're going to put this about here. Okay, this over here, I'm going to trim. All right, we don't want that. And then I am going to take this little piece right here. This is another one of the dies. And this is cut in boho blue. And I'm going to add some liquid glue here. So I actually do recommend this glue and your dimensionals when you're working on this card for sure. All right. Oh, thanks, Donna. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. Listen, if it's not fun, we wouldn't want to do it, right? It's all about having fun for sure. All right, here we go. I've got another one of these. The silver piece is a slip weight, all right? And we're gonna put a dimensional on it. Love the minis. Okay. We're gonna peel that off. And then I'm gonna want this to come down about here. So now it's time to cut this. So I'm gonna cut right there. All right, and let's put this, and you might not be able to see what I'm doing because my fingers are gonna be in the way, okay? But what I'm trying to do is to get that thread under that weight, okay? Now, this piece, the hook, I cut out with silver foil paper, just like these are cut out with silver foil paper. Now, when I cut out this hook, there's absolutely no way that I'm gonna be able to glue this, right? And so I actually put adhesive on the back of it. So for 1 second, I'm just gonna move that and I'm going to peel off that adhesive sheet. Now, if you haven't seen me use adhesive sheets, I'll have to show you sometime because for something like this, it's perfect. All right, hang on. It's coming off. Do you see that little paper? All right, and now it's sticky. And I'm gonna bring in my card and finish this up. Okay. And put it about there. And ladies, that is how it's done. All right, so it can be done. I love adhesive sheets. I mean, I always have to have extra packs. Absolutely. It is a must. What do you think? Yeah, Carolyn, you need to try the adhesive sheets, definitely. And you get a lot of them. They're gonna, just one package will last you a long time. All right. All right, any thoughts? We did it. Oh no, Leslie Claire can't see it. What is going on? What do you mean you can't see it? I'm gonna clean some stamps real quick. This card I cased from the catalog, ladies. Just cased it from the catalog, which means copy and share everything. I am just cleaning a few stamps so I can get ready for our next card. All right. So I just cut them separately. Ooh, I'll have to show you. This is so tiny, Carolyn. What I did was I put the adhesive sheet on the back of the silver foil, and I cut a strip of silver foil, and then I cut out lots of hooks at one time. Okay. To refresh, just go up to the where the URL address is and put your cursor there and hit return, and that auto refresh your screen, or you can exit out and come back in. Okay. Oh yeah, somebody is going to take this home tonight. Wouldn't that be amazing? Whoever wins it. All right. No, you cannot buy a card this cute. Absolutely not. All right, I'm going to take a sip of water, and we're going to get ready, and we're going to make some minis, okay? Now, next week, I still have a few more fishing cards that I'd like to make. There's a 3D that I'd like to do. So next week, we're going to do a little bit of Gone Fishing, and then we're going to start on the next bundle that I like, and it's called Crafting with You, all right? So next week will kind of be a mixed buffet of cards. All right. Well, I'm going to remove the cards. Okay, and I'll put this one over here since we're going to give it away. All right. So to get started with my next set of cards, a couple of things. I guess what we'll do first is we'll go ahead and we'll cut our cards, okay? So what we're going to do now, hi Connie, what we're going to do now is we are going to cut our cards to make them 3 by 3. All right, so let's do that. We're going to need 5 of them. So I'm going to need my paper trimmer so I can show you how to do this. I love the Crafting with You. That's going to be awesome. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, I'm going to zoom out, and we're going to use Misty Moonlight. Okay, that's going to be our cardstock color to make the card base. And we know we want the card to measure 3 inches by 6 inches. Okay. This right across here is 3 inches, and if you open this up, it's 6 inches. All right, so 3 by 6 is what we need. I'm going to start with 6 inches, okay? And we're just going to get rid of this, okay? So we won't need that. And then before I turn it to cut it 3 inches, let's do some scoring. Let's score this piece at 3 inches. Now this is just the scoring. And then we're going to turn to the 11-inch side, and we are going to cut at 3 inches. So let's see how many of these card bases we can make with 1 sheet of cardstock. Haha, it looks like we can get 3 of these cards out of 1 sheet of cardstock, okay? So we're gonna need a second sheet of cardstock. Again, we're gonna do the same thing. We're going to cut it at 6 inches. Then we're going to score at 3. Then we're going to rotate this, and we're gonna cut it 3 inches. And again, we're gonna cut at 3 inches, okay? And I could certainly cut another one, but I do not need it. Yes, this is already scored, but I could make a really cute slimline card with this, or I can use it as scrap paper, okay? All right, so our card bases are created. And our next step is going to be our designer paper. So let me see if I can find it. Let's see, I need one in this. I think I need one in this. We're gonna get these taped first. Got to have the water. We've got our fish, and there should be one more, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. And this piece, we're gonna flip it over, and we're gonna use that, okay? So let's go ahead and we'll get our designer paper taped. All right, let's move those out of the way. I think I'm gonna have to change my dispenser in just a second. All right. All right, where is my stamping mat? Here it is. Okay. Haha. I have found when sitting down, okay, I usually stand up and stamp. So when I stand up and stamp with the Stampin' Seal, I put pressure on it in a different way and the adhesive comes out better. So currently I'm sitting down and I am at a folding table, not a hard counter. And so I have found using this Stampin' mat helps me apply the Stampin' Seal better. So discovered that about a month ago and I forget to use that. Oh, these are super easy to make. Now remember, we have that one and now we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna use the other side. I love the paper. But I always love the designer papers though. Okay, so now those two are done. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you, the designer paper is measuring 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. Okay, so it's a square, 2 7/8. You could make it 2 3/4 if you want. It doesn't have to be 2 7/8. 2 3/4 is a little bit smaller and it would look great. I know Stampin' Up! Paper is the best, quite honestly. All right. And another one, we've got our water. Also, I take this Stampin' Seal and rub it against this and it will advance the adhesive, and that is also very helpful. And one more, and we're going to use the fish. I love these fish. And I think I have reached the end maybe. Just about. And they just get centered, okay? So far it's easy peasy, right? All right, let's start looking at these cards. All right, so this one right here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna zoom in a little now, okay? All right, as we get ready to make them. By the way, this is the important part that I need to show you. Let me do that. You see this die? Guess what? I am using, Nancy, I'm cracking up right now. Tammy's gonna ask Santa for a fishing rod. I might, I love the stamp set so much. All right, so this die right here, okay? These are the negative pieces. I'm going to pop them all out. And guess what? We're going to use every single one of them on these 5 cards. Isn't that cool that we're able to do that? So you've got 5 wonderful little die cut shapes. All right. I feel like I've got something on that one. Let me make sure I'm using the right size here so that it all works out like it's supposed to. This must be the one that I need. All right. Let's see, here we go. We're going to be using pecan pie as our brown, okay? And we're going to use Happy Father's Day. Now, I used all the greetings in the stamp set. That's what I wanted to do for these 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, they're 5 greetings. And you can use these with your 5 negative pieces, okay? Or is it 6? What is it? No, it's 5. Your 5 negative pieces, all right? So you don't have to use these. Like if you're making these cards and Father's Day is a year away, I mean, you can use another sentiment, all right? All right. I want to make sure I've got the right one so I don't mess this up. All right, so this is going to go here, and I hope I am straight. There we go. That is your pecan pie. And then we are going to pop this up. We can use regular dimensionals for this. Hey, Kathleen, welcome. I can't imagine how hot it is in Florida, Kathleen, because it's so hot and humid here in Virginia. So I know it's bad for you as well. All right, so I need to find my little pieces. Let's see, what did I do with my pieces? Y'all give me 1 second. Well, oh, here they are. Sorry about that. I had to find stuff. No, that's not it. Is it? No. All right, let me look through here. Maybe. I'm trying to think what I did with my pieces that I cut. Let me see. Not there. Again, I made these about a week ago. And so, why do I not see them? All right, so let me grab my other little container. All right. So I have this little container of pieces, so that's what I'm going to look at now. We may be cutting some of these out. I thought I had done that, but I am not seeing that. So let me just look here. Which one should we use? Let's go with a little wild wheat, okay? We'll do something a little different. All right. And we'll put that about right there. And then we're going to add an embellishment. And you all know that I'm trying to get rid of this tiny little sheet. So let's see if we can't do that. And we'll put one here. And we will put one here. Okay? All right, so that is our first little card. Isn't that sweet? It's so fun. All right, so here we go. This is going to be our next card. Let's get this one done. And our next piece, that's too small. Let's see. I think it's going to be this one. Nope, too long. That one will work. Okay, so here we go. Good things come to those who wait. And I do like this one. And where is my words? Let's see. Okay. I'm in the middle of teaching my hostess clubs right now, and so I have stamps in 2 different containers. So, all right, here we go. Good things come to those who wait. All right, and we're just gonna stick that right in the middle. This is Misty Moonlight ink, by the way. Misty Moonlight. All right. And we are going to add one of these and one of these to our card. So let's pop this up first. Now it was really quick to make these, and I'll tell you why. I already had the pieces stamped, okay? And so once you have that done, it makes this come together very quickly. All right, so there's that one. And I am gonna pop this up as well. I think this stuff is so cute popped up. And we'll put a dimensional there, and I'm gonna put one here as well. Ooh, you could definitely make that bobber a Christmas bulb. It actually reminds me of that, quite honestly. It really does. We're gonna grab some twine, because if you notice, I've got a little bit of twine right there, okay? So we'll dig this out. Let's see, you know, I already have some of this, so let me grab my other twine. I want to use that one up first. All right. Yes, the dies are now available, Corinne. The paper, I believe, is currently on back order. Is that correct, ladies? Am I correct in that? All right, again, 2 fingers to wrap this around, okay? And I'm just gonna kind of tuck it under this piece, all right? May have to redo that. All right, I think that'll work. Let's see what it looks like, okay? What did I do with this? All right. And let's use a big one and a little one. Yeah, I believe the designer paper is on back order currently. But it's supposed to be available soon, I'm pretty sure, Marcia. That's what I'm thinking. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna add this one about here. All right, and I'll just trim this. Now what I've done is that dimensional is holding the thread, okay? So get a good look at that. The dimensional under that hook is holding that twine, all right? So there you go. So it's probably best move your words over a little bit farther than I did on here. I really should have scooted this over just a tad more, but it still works. All right. All right, all right. Let's see what's next. We have the next one here, and it looks like this. So this is going to use this piece right here, and I'm going to add some seal here. I think I'm at the end. Let's see if I can get just a squeeze, a little more, and then I'm at the end. And then we'll add this. I'm gonna add this, I think about right here. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all look at that. I am going to change this. I'll zoom out and y'all can watch me change this real quick in case you have never done this before. The water one is pretty, I agree. Okay. All right, so now we need a fish, and I am thinking that I might need to cut out the fish. I may have waited for y'all to do that. I kind of think I did. All right, so let's find a fish. That's a cute one there. I'm looking at my paper right now. Well, gosh, I didn't leave myself very many fish here. I may try and use him, even though part of his mouth is kind of cut out. Let's see, what else can I use? I'm looking at these scraps to see which fish I can use. All right, well, I'm gonna use, let me look one more place. Yep, I'm gonna go on and use this one. I think I can use this even though his mouth is a little chopped there. I think it's gonna be perfect. So with this fish, I am fussy cutting. All right, there isn't a die for this one, okay? All right. Yeah, this one here is a trout. Am I correct, Barb? I think the one that you can cut out with the die is a trout. I know it's not the one that I'm currently cutting out. All right. My husband always calls fussy cutting. He calls it sissy cutting. I'm like, that's not right. That's not right. All right. Ooh, I have to save that because look, I've got a trout right there that I can use for something else. So lots of fish on the fish paper, and there's one die to cut out the trout. All right. And I need to go back here, and I need to just cut out that little piece. Thanks for your patience as I get this done. All right, and then this little cutie pie. Oh, look, he's smaller than that one. I did not realize that. I'll be darned. I didn't know they were different sizes. And I'll put a little one there. All right. And then we are going to pop this little guy up right here. We'll add some embellishments. We are going to use this piece now. And I'm really hoping I have some cut out, but I may not. Why did I think I had those cut out? Okay, so I see this. I've got that. I've got that. And I am just looking. Yeah, we might have to cut that out. Let me see. I thought I had it in my tray. Sorry, ladies. Thought I was all organized here. All right. But I am not seeing it. Okay, I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through the next two cards, and if I don't have those pieces, then we will know what we need to cut out, okay? Let's see, I could move the fish to stamp on the same piece. I could move the fish to stamp on the same piece. I'm trying to think, Corinne, what you mean by that. Yes, that's my little junior fish. All right, so let me just move this for 1 second. Let's go to this one, all right, and see what pieces I have for this. Because we might have to cut a few, and it would be nice to cut them all at one time, right? Instead of cutting one, moving the machine, cutting another one. So, all right. So this one is going to be called So Glad You're My Dad, and it's going to be in Misty Moonlight. And we are going to kind of stamp it over towards the left, okay? You can use a fine tip and black marker to round out the fish's nose area. Yes, I could. Move the fish higher and you can stamp on the negative from the big die. Gotcha. Yeah, you know, where is it? If I took the little fish, I could put congrats under it. Maybe we'll move him. That's a good idea. All right, let's pop this one up. We got to see how many pieces that need me to stamp and cut. And we're going to put this one about right here, okay? And let's see what we've got in here. Aha, we're going to be, I've got this one, okay. I got that. I've got a hook and I have a little bow. Okay. All right, let's zoom in and we're gonna finish this one up, okay? All right, let's see. Let's put a little bit, yeah. I am going to put some little dimensionals on here, okay? All right, so we're gonna add this piece and I've put the minis here and here. All right, and we're gonna put it about right there. And then we'll take a little bit of liquid glue. You probably can't even see the dot that I just put there, and that's okay. It's just going to hold that piece. Okay, and I think I need to hold it just a few minutes. I'll zoom in a bit and you can get a closer look at the detail. And I am going to add another piece of glue. That one's a little bit bigger. And I'm going to add a cute little bow. I know there are no bows in fishing, but I'm going to add a cute little bow anyway. Okay, I'll let that dry before I move that anymore. All right, and then we're gonna add a little brass embellishment. Okay, and we're gonna let this dry. You could also attach this with a glue dot. Okay, all right. Oh, and the little hook. We didn't do the little hook, and I know I pulled that little hook out. Those things are so easy to lose. Okay. Yes, lots of knots and tangles. I should have just tangled it, Louise. Again, this is our little silver hook, and I did have an adhesive sheet on the back of that, so I'm pulling that off. And I'm gonna add it to that. Okay, we'll let that dry a bit. Thanks, Kathleen, for stopping by. I appreciate it. All right. Okay, let's see what's next. I think it's our last one. And where's my sample? Right here. And this is our last negative piece. And we're gonna do Happy Retirement in pecan pie, okay? And we're gonna add it about right here. Hopefully I have that straight. And then we're gonna take some Misty Moonlight. Where is my Misty Moonlight? By the way, this is the card we're making. I am going to take those lines and I'm gonna clean my stamp. Jeanne, thank you. That is such a compliment. Thank you so much. 3x3s are just fun to make. All right, we're gonna add some Misty Moonlight here, everybody, okay? But I'm coming down a little bit. It's not right under the words, okay? All right. I didn't do so hot on that one, but that's okay. You know what? It is water, isn't it? So it's just not going to be perfect because water is constantly moving, isn't it? Okay. So we're going to pop this up. Let's do that. Another shocker, I know. We'll add more dimensionals here. How about that? I go through a lot of dimensionals, girls. Yep. Okay, now it's about 20 after. Well, I don't know if it's 20. No, it's not 20 after. It's almost. We're almost into our broadcast. We're about an hour and a half in. So I am giving these cards away tonight. So you're going to want to comment. All right. And you need to be present to win, because these are like extra special little cards. All right. There we go. And here I am going to add the weights. I'm going to put one about there, one in the middle, and one there. Okay, so I've just added some glue. Oh gosh, I did too, Corinne. Corinne says, I just noticed that the happy retirement is like a small wave on the bottom. Oh my gosh, had not even thought of that. But you're right. You are right. I'm gonna add another one here. Okay, and you've got a little wiggle room, you know, if you need to move them around. And then one here. All right, and then we're gonna take our fish, and he's already cut out right here. And let's see, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm actually just going to attach him to the top there. All right, so I'm just gonna add a little glue right where I think he'll be, just right along the edge there. And then he can fish. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but you know what? It will dry. Probably should have done the dimensional on the bottom part of the fish. Let me get my, my paper towel. Okay, and we're going to use some dots on him as well. Again, I am getting rid of dots here. Okay. Yes, you could. You could. Yes, Corinne. You girls are thinking tonight. You could make these regular size. Just use the same idea and make it larger. Absolutely, Connie. You could definitely do that. All right, so there's that one. And we've done that one. Let me move that out of the way. We're going to go back to this little guy. And what we're going to do is, I think we need to cut out. Let me just check. Now, I think it's here. There's my congrats. So that is here. Do I need to cut out anything? I I put a lot of times pieces and parts that are cut will go in this little bin. So that's what I am looking through. But it looks like I must have used it. So we're just gonna take the die and cut just one of those. Let me go ahead and stamp congrats while we're here, okay? While we have it. And then we'll get the other piece cut. Yes, thank you, Donna. All right. There's our congrats. It won't take but a second, okay? So let me just move that out of the way. Let's find the dies we're gonna use, okay? We are going to use this die right here and this die. And we need a little piece of Very Vanilla and a little piece of Calypso Coral. So hang tight. And I shall find it. All right. And just gonna cut that and cut that. So we have smaller pieces on our machine. I am gonna straighten up a little bit. All right, hang tight here. We are almost there. Let me zoom out. Okay, and I thought I had everything cut. Yes, you need your paper, right, Carolyn? You need your paper. All right, we'll just roll these through. No adhesive sheets this time, okay? No adhesive sheets. All right. And this piece. And we'll move this out of the way. Okay, we are back. And we're gonna pop this out. I'll go ahead and zoom back in, okay? There we go. Tonight is really running a little long, so I apologize for that. But hopefully you're having as good of a time as I am. The reason I took that paper out is because I am going to put my dies away now for the evening. And I don't want to lose them. I lost a die recently and I haven't gotten over it yet. It still upsets me. All right, there we go. So these are back in place. And here I am going to take a little bit of multi-purpose glue. Oh my gosh, Cindy, thank you so much. And thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. I will also try to get pictures out tomorrow for you, okay? All right. And then this just goes right here. All right. Thanks, Nancy. Thanks. As long as y'all are having a good time. I know I'm having a good time. It's all good, right? All right, here we are again. We are just going to add a little bit of glue here. Now here's something else you could do if you're making a lot of fish cards, okay? Make a bunch of these so they're ready to go, okay? Because that's what I'm gonna plan on doing. All right, see if we can move that a little bit more. I want this to be, I can't seem to hold that down so that I can move that. Okay, I think I have it. Let's go back to our card. Okay. All right, so how are we gonna do this? We are going to pop this up. Whoops. It just flew away, just like that. I'm so sorry. All right, so put one there. Now remember, these dimensionals are gonna hold the twine, okay? So it's really, really important to have this on the back, okay? Kind of want to cover this up. Oh, you're so welcome. Everyone, you are welcome. It's almost time to give them away. All right, so what I've done again is just to wrap this around 2 fingers, okay? Yes, the fish took it. It floated away, right? It floated away. All right, here we go. And then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put this about right here, okay? To kind of hold that in place. I have, let's see, I am gonna have to get out my other dots. Let me get these out because I'm almost out here. Let's see, let's use this. And then we'll use a big one here, kind of fill up this space, right? And then we'll put one about right there, okay? And then we're gonna add the congrats. Now, let me show you what we're gonna do here, okay? All right, hi Jeannie, how are you? All right, oh my gosh, thank you, Donna. What a compliment, girls. You're gonna make me wanna come back next week. I can't wait till next week because I got a really cute crafting card, so you have to come back, okay? All right, so this, by the way, look what I've done here. Here's the word congrats. If I flip it over, there's nothing over here behind the C, and that is the letter C. And that is because I want it to rest on that, okay? But yet it is still popped up. So, we did it. We did it. We got through it. All right, well, let's get set up. Let me show you the cards again while I get us set up for prizes, okay? We're giving away the full set. Someone is going to get this full set. And by the way, you do get envelopes with it, okay? You will get some envelopes with it, the little 3x3 envelopes. All right. I need to score these a little more so they're not popping up. All right. Oh, thank you. All right, I'll zoom in so you can see them. Okay? All right, give me a second.